Come together. You know it's about time. For all of us to come together.
Right. Okay. All right. You do that, Coach. That was an awesome show. I was listening to it on my way here. And you guys heard of no fraternization on the jobs, right? That's all I got to say. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio. This is AM 1370. Fraternization is like you are not supposed to. Well, if you're listening to Coach's Corner, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the views expressed by the hosts and the callers of this show are not necessarily the views of WLTH Radio, management, owners, and sponsors. Thank you so much for joining me here on WLTH Radio. Oh, I forgot my other two eyes. I'm going to be squinting, guys. You are live here with E.V.E., and it is Happy Monday, and happy belated birthday, because we have Mother's Day. To me, Mother's Day is every day, okay? And thing is that most of you sure celebrated, if not all of you celebrated somebody's Mother's Day, whether it was your own, your mother, your daughters as well, granddaughters, great-granddaughters, nieces, nieces and cousins. They're all mothers. So happy belated Mother's Day to you all, because Mother's Day should be every day, as I said, and it's been a crazy, busy, good day here today in this world, and it's somewhere good morning, somewhere out there, good afternoon, good evening. For those of you that are listening to me from afar, that would be a good morning in some places, and, well, it's pretty early out in the Bay Area. Shout out to Arizona, Los Angeles, the Bay Area, San Francisco, and Las Vegas as well. Shout out to all of you that are listening to WLTH Radio. And we will have someone come in, actually call in, I'm sorry, they're from Chicago. I was actually thinking of going out there myself for a special, huge event that comes on, that happens in Chicago every year. And this is the 11th year that's coming on. And well, I want to know more about it because I have friends, I have people that I know that their children have autism. I sometimes I brought someone that has an organization out here that is Planting Possibilities, is also deal with autism people, and planting and doing their gardening and all that great stuff that they're doing as well. Well, why can't we all just get together and work all for the same purpose, for the same reason? So Autism Speaks, it's huge. It's national, I believe, but there's an event that's coming up next Saturday. But there's so many things happening next Saturday. Omar, can you see if I left my other two eyes in my purse, please? Because I ran out of the car. Don't know if I left them on the seat or appreciate it, Mars. Well, Methodist Hospital Free Spring Community Health Fair is also happening Saturday, May 17th from 9 till noon, U.S. Steel Yard, Gary South Shore Railcat Stadium. And all you guys know where that's at, right over here at 5th Avenue, close to our WLTH station. And you'll get to meet and greet some of the hosts from WLTH. If you can bring them in, they're in the car, I think. Maybe, oh, he just locked it. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll just squint. It's okay, Mars. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to look for my other two eyes. I left them in the car. But anyway, we are, anyone that's interested in meet and greet some of the hosts from WLTH Radio, well, you can stop in and get some free health screenings and also get to meet some of us. Now, that's a very busy day as well because there's also a Special Olympics program going on in East Chicago. And I know that the Morton Marching Band, or the band, is going to take place for that. So that's happening that day as well. My nephew's getting married. Congratulations, Jimmy and Trish. They're getting married on the 17th as well. It's just so many things going on that day. So I think I'm going to pull up a few more things that are taking place, and I need to thank you, sweetheart, bring the information to you about the Omar, do you know about the special games for Saturday? You don't? You're kidding me.
The first I heard of it was when Emily told me.
Yeah, well, that's going to be an all day, and I know Juan's going to volunteer over there as well, and I'm gonna pull it up so that I can bring it to you here on the radio. This is AM 1370 on your radio dial. Is my guest on the line already? Okay, just hold on 1 second for me real quick, Sarah, and I'll introduce you. I thank you so much for taking the time to call in, because it's so important to discuss issues just as simple as autism. But it's not simple. The word is, but it's not simple when it comes to families having children that are autistic. And I know that we just had Autism Awareness Month, which was the month of April. So without further ado, I have Sarah Hamilton, and she is the co-chair for Autism Speaks fundraiser that's coming up this weekend as well. Good evening, Sarah. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. Now, I know that this is the 11th annual walk now for Autism Speaks in Chicago, but before I get into the actual event, I need to know a little bit more about you. So tell our listeners, who is Sarah Hamilton? And I believe your husband, Shane, is also the co-chair as well.
Yes, we were co-chairs last year and this year. We got involved with Autism Speaks a few years back when our son was diagnosed as being on the spectrum. So it was a little nerve-wracking at first, but we actually were referred to Autism Speaks, and they got us that first 100 days kit, which is a tool that they can provide to local families for right when they're diagnosed, somebody in the family is diagnosed as being on the spectrum. It helps out a lot as far as pointing you in the direction of where to go, because you hear, your son has autism or your daughter is on the spectrum, and as a parent, your heart just drops, and you go, okay, what do I do now? And so we got in touch with Autism Speaks, and they've really helped us out through the years as far as getting us in contact with service providers and, giving us a way to have a voice and be part of the community of people who are affected. So
I'm going to ask a question for those listeners, Sarah. There are people listening that may have a relative or a friend or a neighbor that has a child that's got autism, or maybe haven't even been diagnosed as of yet. How did you come about in finding out that that's what's going on with your child, if you don't mind me asking?
We found out, I was in a little bit of denial, I have to admit. My son was about 3, and he still wasn't speaking much, not as much as any other kid would. He would say a few words here and there, but he really just would do more with gesturing and whatever. And, it was very hard for me as mom to say, yeah, there might be something up. And we actually very first started by taking him to our local early learners program for review to see if he needed to start getting into preschool a little early. And at that point, then they said, well, I think you may want to get a diagnosis, see if you can go in and meet with a healthcare professional who can take a look further into this. So that was it. He just wasn't interested. Cole, my son, was not interested in the same things other kids his age were, not real social. And again, he really wasn't talking much at that point. So he was late with that. So those were our first signs. I know there's other signs as well. Lack of eye contact, obsession with a certain thing. As far as maybe actually, funny enough, the only thing Cole really would say was he could name any car, any make or model on the street when he was very little, still in a stroller.
Wow.
But he wouldn't say anything like Mom, Dad, I love you, I want this.
Mm-hmm.
Like normal other children would say. So, yeah. So those were our signs.
How old was he?
He was 3 when we found out.
Now, I know that there's probably parents out there that even at age 3 and or 5, they still don't know, especially in the non-English speaking families, that they just probably think it's a child that's acting out, not realizing it, unless it's a very loud sign, as in not speaking. That would be
Right.
the first thing, is saying, well, why is it my child is not speaking? He's 5 or she's 5 and they're not speaking. So what were the first things that they started working with your son?
We started as soon as we kind of got pointed in the right direction. We started him with speech therapy. He goes once a week for that, plus he gets it through the school. He does occupational therapy, which it sounds like it's related to a job, but it's actually, motor skills, helping him develop that way. And he's been doing that once a week, as well as once a week in school. So we started with that. We started trying to reach out and get connected with other people in the community to find out what we could do as far as increasing his social skills as well. And so we found some local resources here, but there's resources all over the place. It's just kind of in the beginning. You kind of need to reach out or have someone to talk to that can point you in the right direction.
Which I'm sure that can also be very frustrating if you don't have that right person pointing you in the right direction, or may have pointed you in a direction, may not have been the best direction.
Yes. Well, and that's where Autism Speaks comes in, our local Chicago chapter. I encourage anybody who has questions to talk to them. I know that throughout the year they also have set up places where you can bring your child in to have professionals, work with them and see, if they might be on the spectrum as well. So that's a valuable tool because a lot of people don't know where to go. And really, it's better the sooner you can diagnose, the sooner you can start, reaching out, doing speech therapy, doing occupational therapy, finding out what your child needs to succeed.
And that's probably the most frustrating thing, is just get that, finding out what your child really needs.
Yeah.
And not put any more stress to the child and the family, because I'm sure I've seen YouTube videos of how truly an autistic child is and what the parents really go through, because people don't really paint the picture the way it really is.
Yeah.
Especially depending on the level of the severity of the autism of each child. I know it varies from child to child, but they're very gifted. What gift does your son have? I know you told me that age 3 he was knowing the names of cars.
Right. He was doing that. He's a pretty good reader as far as age and grade level go. So he's pretty advanced there, but now he's kind of, in the past few years, I think he's going to be the next Pat Sajak. He loves game shows. Game shows. He'll sit there, he'll watch Wheel of Fortune and solve half the puzzles.
Wow.
And he's only 8, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Sometimes we as grown-ups can't even guess the puzzle at all. So back to now the big event. What made you guys, you and Shane, your husband, get involved? So you looked up to Autism Speaks, and obviously they're the ones that were helping you in learning about things to help out your son, right?
Yes, yep, and that was where we started with them, and then that same year we decided, okay, you know what? Let's go out. Let's try this walk. Let's see what it's about, and it kind of went from there. I know the first year we actually went out, and then my husband and I were like, oh, there's some things we would change here and there. So we wrote a letter into them and said, here's some things that we would change about it, but, this was good, this didn't work for us, whatever. And we're the type of people that say, don't complain if you're not willing to step up and try and work on the issue. So So that's how we got involved with that a little more heavily. But the event itself is absolutely amazing. It is. There's, thousands of people. It's a chance to be at Soldier Field, and actually you can be on Soldier Field in the beginning. The walk starts.
Wow.
Which is cool in itself. There's so many. It's a great place to go, just because there's nobody there that's going to be, looking at you or, staring at you because your child might be doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody understands there, so it's a really great day to kind of come together as a community and as a bunch of people who understand each other. So.
And I'm sure there's each year it's growing. Now I was looking at the numbers that you sent me. It's growing. This is the 11th one, right?
Yes, this is the 11th year, and last year, as a whole, for this one event in Chicago, this is the biggest fundraiser for Autism Speaks, and we raised over $1.5 million. So there's more participants every year, and it's great to come out and see, even if you're just an individual that wants to come out, check it out and see if you want to come in with a team next year, whatever, I would recommend it.
Well, I know that a shout out to Harrison Medina and his lovely wife and his beautiful daughter that's been diagnosed with autism, and she is, I think, 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pastor for a church out here, but he resides in Chicago, and I know that he and his wife said they will be part of it.
Awesome.
That they were not going to miss it this year. And I said, Jose Macias also, he's been great. I want to give a shout out to him as well. He's the one that connected me to you and Shane.
Mm-hmm.
Jose has been telling me about this. I think this is the second or third year he's told me about it, and I've been saying, I got to make it, but there's always something else going on that day. So I don't know if I can run in there, do an hour, and come back just so I can meet you guys and continue to promote something as this event that you guys take place in Chicago, and especially at Soldier Field. That's huge. I've never been there personally, so I said I got to get there one day.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a football kind of person that likes sports, so for something like this, I would like to be at Soldier Field for that. Now, I know that there's, and I'm going to be honest with you, I posted on Twitter, and there is someone there that is actually boycotting it.
Okay.
Boycotting Autism Speaks. Now, I don't know what that person is thinking. All I just say was join me in prayer. Mm-hmm. All this money, this $1.5 million, what is the money used for?
Okay, it goes towards many different things, and I can give you some more global examples because there's over 100 cities across North America that do a walk like this through Autism Speaks as an organization. So as an organization, Autism Speaks tries to raise awareness about autism and people and families dealing with it. They help provide family services, that 100-day kit that I talked about.
Right.
They also provide and award grants to local service providers and organizations that go right back to the community to develop and grow existing autism programs. They also do some funding for science and research. We still don't know what causes autism, and we're still looking for some good treatments as far as how to manage some of the different things that come with it. And locally, I can tell you a few things here. I don't want to get too much into it, but let's say you donate $50. That would provide a newly diagnosed family with a hard copy of the Autism Speaks 100-day kit, and that helps with the first, little bit of life after you hear those words that, your family member has been diagnosed. So there's over 200 families in Illinois a year that request this.
Wow.
$100 would provide 2 schools with a copy of the Autism Speaks School Community Toolkit. This helps every member of the school community teaches about autism, and kind of also that, people on the spectrum, they're still people.
Right.
So, and how to deal with that, and also how to get teachers kind of learning more about it and how they can help. If you donated $250, you could help fund some scientific research and possibly at someday a cure for autism. I could go on and on.
Right. But more than anything, these funds are utilized and appropriated in the right areas where it needs to be spent and utilized.
Yeah. And our
wisely.
local dollars here in the Chicagoland area, they're staying local. So the grants that come from, funds raised from the Chicagoland Walk are going to local places. So, yeah, so it's definitely a good cause and very helpful to local families. Right,
and this could be a huge, or maybe it already is, wherever there's people, there's always networking.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you meet so many people from all different walks of life, different organizations coming together, and that is a great day to connect as well, all for the same cause that everybody's being brought together for, thanks to Autism Speaks. Now, you said about 100 cities in the country?
Yeah, across North America, actually, into Canada and all over the place. So,
doesn't sound like much.
It doesn't, but if you take into account that some of those cities are large cities like Chicago.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but if you bring in thousands and thousands of people, I would say, about how many joined you last year, Sarah, would you say?
I'm going to say close to 25,000.
Wow, that is huge. That's beautiful.
Yeah, so it's a big day.
I spoke with a friend of mine, Javi, if he's listening out there. Javi Romero has a group of 300-something runners out here in Northwest Indiana.
Awesome.
I can't recall the name that they use for themselves, and they run every week. They exercise, and and it's a great thing to do because you stay fit. You're taking care of your body. And so I told them about that this morning. I said, it'd be great if you can team up with your group and go to this event this Saturday if you guys are open to it and you're available. So I'm sharing the information also on social media so that you can all come together. I can't promise you if I'll be there or not, if hopefully the beginning of it, the very beginning of it. So, Sarah, for those that won't be able to make it, can you paint the picture for us? What is it that you guys do in the beginning, the ceremony? Just so that I can visualize it. And for those that won't be able to make it, so they can say, wow, I got to make sure that I'm there next year. Just to hear about 25,000 people, I can imagine that adrenaline.
Well, starting with just each, individual team that comes out, these people go crazy. They come out, they create their own team shirts, like ours for our son Cole is Cole's Crew. And we come out with a new T-shirt every year with a big group of us. We'll be wearing bright yellow this year, so come say hello.
Okay.
We start out, you can register even that day, and it costs nothing to register. So if you're kind of on the edge and like, maybe, I don't know, I want to check it out, but I don't want to, get involved in it quite yet because I don't know what to expect, you can still register that day. So you get there, you can socialize on Soldier Field. There's also a resource fair there in the mezzanine, so lots of people that can, let you know, they'll point you in the direction of somebody in your local area that can provide various different types of services. It's a learning experience as far as that goes. There's on the field, there's entertainment for the kids and families. We have people on stage. There's bands playing and stuff during the beginning. There's also a quiet room, so if your child or family member on the spectrum needs a break from all the noise and excitement, there is a quiet room that's sponsored, so there's a place to go and get some peace and quiet and settle down if that's needed. There's on the field, there's bouncy houses, there's princesses and Disney princesses, and there's Star Wars stormtroopers and all kinds of entertainment before the walk kicks off.
Wow.
And then there's stuff on stage, and then we do the kickoff. Actual walk starts at 10:30, and it's 3 miles total. It's not super strenuous. It's beautiful. It's along the lakefront. And then when you get back to Soldier Field after that, there's an after party with food and
I heard about that. That was
yeah.
huge too. Jose, if you're listening out there, you keep going forward and keep working with Shane and Sarah as well, and we'll see what I can do next year. I won't promise you anything yet, and but I do want to be there. So how long is this now? You got the entertainment and the venue in the afternoon. About what time would you say?
I would say usually wraps up maybe close to 2, maybe a little after. Kind of depends on the weather.
Right, right.
And during this whole time, they also have people tallying up anything. If people want to drop off a donation that day of, they can do that as well. So they'll announce the grand tally at the end of this. So it's a lot of fun. The after party, there's bands, there's food, there's vendors doing all kinds of stuff. I went out and had them put a blue thing in my hair last year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of fun.
Certainly sounds like it, Sarah. Any last-minute things that you'd like to take advantage that you're on the air right now to tell our listeners?
I would say a couple of things. Come out to the walk. Just check it out. Even if it's just you're not quite ready to do the team thing yet, it's a great time to meet people. Everyone there is super friendly. And also, if you're questioning, maybe I know someone in my family who hasn't been really diagnosed yet, don't be afraid. Take the step. Try and, get diagnosed if that's the case. Or, maybe it's not the case. But it's better to start early as far as going out there and getting the services that you need. So that would be my advice.
Okay. So, again, tell our listeners when and where and what time.
Okay. So the walk is this Saturday, May 17th at Soldier Field. Registration and gates open at 8 a.m. The walk actually kicks off at 10:30, and we have an after party after that till about 2. So very good. Come on out.
Great, great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come on, and because we're so close to you, so Chicago and Northwest Indiana need to partner.
Yeah.
We're 30 minutes away from you.
Yeah, I agree.
Or if
Come
not
on out.
closer.
That's no problem at all.
Exactly.
And hopefully it should be a great day. I know it's not going to be as hot as it was this past weekend, so that's good.
I was going to say that's actually even a great thing. So you know that they won't get dehydrated or feeling tired or sick. So that's actually a great thing. Well, Sarah, again, thank you so much for coming on and sharing this information. We wish you the best. I'm sure that you will get probably more than 25,000 people this year. And just keep moving forward and fighting the fight for autism. And thank you again, and just keep sharing the information with me.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
All right.
Have a great evening.
Bye.
That was Sarah Hamilton, co-chair for Autism Speaks fundraiser that's coming up this weekend. Sounds like a lot of fun. 25,000 people, all for a great cause. That's awesome. I got to see how I can split myself in 4 because there's 3-4 different type of events going on the same day, almost about the same time, and I know I got to support Emily. They're out there playing. The band from Morton High School will be there playing for the special games in East Chicago, and there's going to be a lot of volunteers throughout the Lake County as well there. So I know Juan said he was going to volunteer, and then we got the health fair over here at the U.S. Steel Yard Gary South Shore Railcat Stadium. That's from 9 to noon. They got free health screenings there, like blood pressure, blood sugar, body mass index, body fat analysis, bone density, cholesterol, foot screenings, heart disease risk assessments, oximetry, that's checking your blood oxygen, prostate blood test, scoliosis screening, stroke risk assessments, and also a lot of information on health. So please come on out. There'll be free raffles and prizes, free parking in the VIP lot, and Railcats Concourse Challenge. Walk or run around the stadium. Get the free pedometer as well. But I want to play a few things, but I know we got a commercial going, so don't touch that dial. I'll be right back. This is Eve. Sound off with E.V.E. on WLTH Radio, AM 1370. Be right back. Don't touch that dial.
The Majestic Star Casino presents Angela Winbush, an American R&B soul singer and songwriter. Friday, May 23rd for 2 shows, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Purchase tickets at the Majestic Star Casino box office. Angela Winbush, Friday, May 23rd for 2 shows, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. For 2 shows only. Angela Winbush at the Majestic Star Casino.
Methodist Hospitals is offering a free day of health screenings, valuable health information, and fun. Methodist Hospital's free spring community health fair is Saturday, May 17th at U.S. Steelyard, home of the Gary South Shore Railcats in downtown Gary. Don't miss live experts, free screenings, plus free health info from Methodist Hospitals and other healthcare exhibitors. Lots of free raffles and prizes. Free parking in the VIP lot off Pennsylvania Street. Methodist Hospital's free spring community health fair at U.S. Steelyard. Saturday, May 17th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Presented by Methodist Hospitals, the Gary South Shore Railcats, and the Lake County Minority Health Coalition. Methodist Hospitals, leading the way to better health.
Welcome back to WLTH. This is AM 1370 on your radio dial, and that was, we were talking about autism. I know that the month of April is the month for autism awareness as well, and it's important to educate ourselves of what to expect or what we sometimes may see and may not understand what's going on with that child, instead of saying, that's a bad kid. They don't want to listen. They don't want to sit down. You just never know, and it's good to always be an alert, look for signs. These are the following red flags that may indicate your child is at risk for any autism spectrum disorder. You guys heard Sarah Hamilton mentioned the signs from her son. And if your child exhibits any of the following, please don't delay in asking your pediatrician or family doctor for an evaluation. No big smiles or other warm, joyful expressions by 6 months or thereafter. No back and forth sharing of sounds, smiles, or other facial expressions by 9 months. No babbling by 12 months. No back and forth gestures such as pointing, showing, reaching, or waving by 12 months. No words by 16 months. No meaningful two-word phrases, not including imitating or repeating, by 24 months. Any loss of speech, babbling, or social skills at any age. They have the modified checklist for autism, and toddlers can help you determine if a professional should evaluate your child. This is a simple online autism screen available on the website. It only takes a few minutes, and it answers suggest your child is at risk for autism. So please consult with your child's doctor. Likewise, if you have any other concerns about your child's development, don't wait. Speak to your doctor now about screening your child for autism. You can learn more about how to recognize the signs of an autism using a video glossary. It contains over hundreds of video clips illustrating typical and delayed development. Whether you're a parent, caregiver, relative, or friend, it can help you learn the subtle differences and spot the early red flags for autism. Through autism spectrum disorders range from mildly to profoundly disabling. A diagnosis of ASD is an important turning point in a long journey. Autism Speaks has many resources for families whose children have recently received a diagnosis, so you can contact them at 1-888-288-4762, 888-288-4762, and that's autismspeaks.org. I wanted to play something. I don't know if Omar, did you get that? Did you get anything? Wow, wondering why you are having issues not getting my emails. I'm going to see if I got my own. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio. And it's been a busy, crazy good busy day. Okay, I don't know. Watch me get the emails when we leave, because it's saying it's not syncing. But if you can go to Autism Speaks, Mars, you'll find actually the video. Oh, wait, I think I got it over here. Yeah, I got it over here, so I'm going to send it to you. You got them? So it must be our Wi-Fi over here that's a little delayed. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. Anyone who wants to sound off and tell me how your Mother's Day was, go ahead and brag. And if it's true, it's not bragging. 219-885-1371. It's 39 minutes after the hour. This is AM 1370 on your radio dial. And certainly the weather has been very lovely. Although we got some, all of a sudden, change of type of weather yesterday. At least it gave you all day until like about 5, 6 o'clock to have all this beautiful weather until it starts storming and doing a lot of damage in just a few minutes. But we hope that you all have been safe. I know I heard Coach that he did not have power, so hopefully his power has been restored and it's all good. Did you get it? All right. Don't touch that dial. Just tune in. AM 1370 on your radio dial.
Learn the early signs of autism today, because an early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Hey, I made your favorite.
With real egg noodles and bite-sized chicken, Campbell's Chicken Noodle Soup is the one kids love. Good.
All right, sorry about that. That must not have been the... Say that again? Okay, how about the other one? The second one I sent you. Can you have my... Is my mic on? Yeah. All right, you're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E, AM 1370. Sorry, that was the wrong one. We apologize. This is, awareness. We need to keep you in awareness of things that are going on, how to take care of our elderly, how to take care of our youth, how to keep the violence down, how to, it's how to. Many kids are having kids nowadays, and, well, that's how we're wreaking havoc. So that's pretty sad. Let me know when the next one comes up, Mars. This is WLTH, AM 1370, the Region's Choice, and I am the voice here on WLTH in the evening at 6.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the midst of a terrible public health epidemic. This epidemic is impacting tens of millions of children all over the world, and it's getting worse. Yet this epidemic is transparent and invisible to most of you. It grows on a generational timescale, and the children affected gets removed from the mainstream, themselves become invisible.
While we are sitting here today, 100 families will receive the news that their child has autism. If the rate of diagnostics continue to grow the way they are now, by the year 2024, when I start to have kids, 1 in every 3 families will have a child on the spectrum.
Intensive therapies for autism cost more than $40,000 a year. By 2024, 1 in every 10 job openings will be for a therapist. And what about our schools? How many special education teachers can we afford? And what happens after school? What do we do with the millions of people that think and behave so differently than the norm?
Yes, this can happen to you. What would you do when your child or grandchild is diagnosed with autism?
Let me tell you. In 1996, a girl was born in California. She had beautiful green eyes and an incredible smile. Yet, she was disconnected from the world. She didn't speak. She did not complain. So although she was the best baby ever, she was also autistic.
Questions. My dad is looking at me, talking to me, asking me a question. It takes time for the words to get to my ears, to run through my brain, to process their meaning. I'm thinking of the answer, formulating the words and what I want to say, and thinking, formulating. I'm about to say the answer, but my dad is looking at me, talking to me, asking me a question. It takes time for the words to get to my ears, to run through my brain, to process their meaning. I'm thinking of the answer, formulating the words and what I want to say, and thinking, formulating. I'm about to say the answer, but my dad is looking at me, talking to me, asking me a question again and again and again. It's too fast. Don't they understand? If they just gave me some time to think, maybe I would say something, and maybe even something smart. But they all just keep talking and talking and talking, shooting question after question, expecting me to answer. So maybe I'll just smile and be cute. Maybe it'll all be over soon.
That little girl was my daughter Leah. She had particularly hard time socializing. Birthday parties were the ultimate challenge.
Birthday parties. Everyone is having fun. They're all shouting. They're all laughing. They're all running over here. Now, they're all running over there. So I guess I'll just run along with everyone else. Maybe they'll have no idea that I don't know what's going on. But then the music and the shouting and the laughter, it's all so loud, and I just can't take it. Shut down.
We were not ready to give up on Leah. We tried different therapies, but the clock was ticking, and although Leah was improving, she was not really catching up to her peers. And then all of a sudden, a miracle. Something changed. We found the key to open Leah's safe. We found the secret protocol that activated brain plasticity for Leah. And it wasn't a magic pill. It was not an intensive 24/7 therapy. It was something surprisingly simple. Within just a few weeks, we saw Leah changing. She became more responsive. She started to use words we didn't even know that she knew. She started to engage. She was finally coming out of her shell.
After being trapped inside for 8 years, I was finally able to explore what the world had to offer. No longer was I blinded by loud noises. No longer was I scared of travel and adventure. No longer was I lost in simple conversations. I discovered new books. I discovered new foods. I even discovered people. And that people are not that scary. And better yet, they can become my friends. The curtains have finally lifted, and the world felt great.
You see, in the science community, it has been known for quite some time that enriching the environment of animals enables them to overcome a whole slew of neurological disorders. So why not on humans? Turns out that the key to activate brain plasticity is a persistent stimulation of the senses, and in particular, stimulation of the minor senses: smelling, taste, touch and tactile, hot and cold, and even the sense of balance. You see, the world used to be full of a variety of sensory inputs. It used to be a dirty, stinky place. Today it's clean, with no scent. We live in an air-conditioned house with no variation in temperature. We feed our babies tasteless formula, and we carry them locked in a basket. Kids used to roll on the grass. Today, we put them in front of the television and we bombard them with visual stimulation. In other words, we rob their brains of the opportunity to compensate for whatever neurological deficiencies it had. What we did with Leah is sensory enrichment therapy called mendability. It is a set of sensory exercises we did with her twice a day for 1.5 years. But Leah, for her it was just the beginning.
When I was 8 years old, I didn't appear to have autism anymore. Yes, I did have friends, I did talk, and I was engaged. But I had no way to express myself. I didn't really find a way to share my world with others. Then in 8th grade, my family and I went on a family vacation. My homework assignment was to write an essay about the mountains. And so my mom, she took my first draft, read it, gave me a weird look, and said, "You know, if you just take every sentence and split it in half, you could end up with a well-written poem." And that is how I discovered poetry. And that is how I discovered my true voice. Both mendability and poetry have finally freed me from my own autism cell.
There is hope. We can treat autism. I predict that within 10 years, sensory exercises, just like physical exercises, will be part of our everyday routine. With sensory exercises like mendability, we can finally unlock the incredible power that is today installed in those invisible kids.
Invisible. I hear people say all the time that they want to be invisible so that they could do whatever they want, whenever they want, and no one would judge them. They would be just another person. No labels, no mistakes, no nothing. But they don't know. They don't know what it really feels like to be invisible, to get no attention when you need it most, no long hugs when comfort is all you want, no friends when company is all you need, nobody who understands what it feels like to be me. So there I was, trying my hardest to fit in. Yet, when I looked around, it's as if no one noticed me. Everyone looked at me and treated me as if I was a piece of furniture, or a picture on the wall, or better yet, if I was the wall. Everyone saw me as just another girl. They saw nothing special in me, nothing that was worth the time to get to know, nothing that seemed like I even mattered, nothing but a person doing her everyday chores, and nothing more. But I don't want to be just another girl. I don't want to be behind the scenes. I don't want to be like that homework assignment that always gets postponed until at last, after the longest time it's due. I don't want to be that one person who sits alone in the corner with no one else to be with. Because I know I can get better than that. I know who I am, what I can do, and what I can achieve. For half of my life, I have lived without communication. I have worked hard and defeated the odds. I am not a no one. I am someone that can make a difference, someone who is worth being noticed, worth the attention, and worth the time. Someone greater than doing everyday chores and being pushed aside. Someone greater than a piece of furniture, a picture, a wall. Someone greater than an invisible being. Someone greater than that one person who always sits alone in the corner with no one else to be with. I will rise up and not be afraid of the world, because this time is my time. Screw invisibility. Thank you.
That's right. Yes. All right. Definitely. And that was a young girl with autism. And you guys, if you've been following my shows, some time ago I had a gentleman, a young man in his 20s that has autism, but can draw beautiful, can sketch. He draws since age 3 with a pencil and paper, with only a ruler to guide him. And he has his new comic book that came out. I'm going to have to call his Uncle Curtis to see where they're at with this. And also, one of my students in the class that I go speak at the high school, freshman's English class, one of my students has autism. And she's very bright. She's very vocal. She speaks her mind. And she does raise her hand always and ask questions. And, you know, she is someone special just as everybody else is. But there are very gifted, smart children. So if you are one of them that has a child that may not know what's going on, you guys got the information. I thought that this was very important to put an awareness out. The month of April was also Autism Awareness Month. And Pastor Jerickson Medina, hopefully you guys were listening. And I know that you said you'd be part of this event that's coming up Saturday. But let's see what the weather brings like. Let's hope it's, cross our fingers that it's going to be all right. You're listening to WLTH. This is AM 1370, the Region's Choice. This is Sound Off with E.V.E. Remember, I am on the new hours, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 6 o'clock, and on Wednesdays and Fridays at 5 o'clock. Currently in Gary, Indiana, intermittent clouds is 81 degrees. Aurora, 85 degrees, mostly cloudy with thunder showers. Baltimore, cloudy, 83 degrees. Washington, partly sunny, 82 degrees. Orlando, Florida, partly sunny, 81 degrees. Houston, cloudy, 77 degrees. Las Vegas, mostly sunny, 80 degrees. And L.A., sunny, 88 degrees. Barcelona, España, cloudy, 61 degrees. Celaya, Mexico, partly sunny, 86 degrees, and Toronto is cloudy and 63 degrees. But what are we going to have for the rest of the week? Let's see, it's going to drop to 65 tonight, intermittent clouds, and we're going to get some more showers, guys. So sorry. I know that there was a flood zone yesterday, a flood alert till 11 o'clock last night, so I'm praying that none of you guys really got, any damages done to your homes. I know the wind was heavy, so we just got to be cautious that no one gets hurt. And for tomorrow, Tuesday, May 13th, already middle of the month already. Wow. Mainly cloudy and cooler with the spotty showers of 69 degrees on a high. Mainly cloudy, breezy, and cooler, 45 degrees on a low end. And it's going to feel like 32 degrees on Tuesday night. And for Wednesday, 56 degrees on a high, rather cloudy and cooler, occasional rain and drizzle in the afternoon and evening. And it's going to drop to 37 degrees on and off, rain, drizzle in the evening, otherwise rather cloudy and chilly. 37 degrees on the low end, and that is for Wednesday night, guys. So it's going to still feel like not so much of this summer, right? Well, it's 58 degrees for Thursday on a high end, cloudy and cool with showers possible, and it's going to drop to 41 degrees at night, mostly cloudy, chilly, on and off rain and drizzle for Thursday. And then for Friday, we're going to get 59 degrees, variable cloudiness with a brief shower or two. 38 degrees on a low end, partly cloudy and chilly, freezing temperatures in the normally colder spots. And for Saturday, 60 degrees, partly sunny and cool with a shower possible. So it's going to be perfect for everyone to enjoy out there. Just wear a sweatshirt, a hoodie, a sweater, light jacket. It'll be okay. But at night, it's going to be clear and chilly, 37 degrees on a low end for Saturday night. Sunday, mostly sunny, 64 degrees on a high, and it's going to drop at night to 39 degrees. It'll feel like 29 degrees, clear and chilly. Well, that's all, folks. Thank you so much for joining me here on WLTH Radio. This is AM 1370, sound off with E.V.E. You guys be safe. Happy Monday. Remember to love yourself and respect yourself as well so that others can respect you as well. Remember, do unto yourself as you want others to do unto you. Smile, love, peace to you guys, and remember to always find some laughter throughout the day. But always handle your day with a smile no matter what comes your way. Don't let this rain shower or rain in your parade. You guys be safe, drive safely, and enjoy what is left of today. Till tomorrow, I'll be back here at 6. Peace to you.
When we all come together.